I'm gonna have to turn the TV down. Yes. No. Anything showing up?
Hold on. You said on Instagram?
YouTube, baby. YouTube. Just trying some with this mic to see, but I can't see my screen because I'm using my back camera.
I do see something.
So I don't know. Hey, 40 Shades. Can you hear me? Smitty Smith, what's happening? Can you hear me? Sounds great. Okay, because I just was wondering. I'm doing something a little different. I'm using my phone for the stream, but I'm hooking up a separate mic. I probably should have. You know what I just thought about too?
Mm-hmm.
Dang, we left him in the truck.
What? Hey, y'all.
Other mics.
Hey, 40 Shades. I saw you driving the other night, too.
And you barely made it. But you made
Hey,
it.
Smitty.
So you say it sound good, bro? How you jump out the channel of the feed, bro?
Because I wasn't in there as Married to the Moms, and I wanted to be in there as Married to the Moms.
Oh, y'all say it sound all right, though? Because I'm trying to use another. I'm using the mic off my camera, and I got that plugged into the phone because I think I got our wireless mics, but I don't know if that's gonna work. And I got a set of lavalier mics, but I left them in the truck. But as y'all can see, we're in the hotel. Just finished running. Actually, we finished running this morning. But one more again, mic check. Let me just see. Like I don't know how behind it's going to be.
Cut it up. It's cut down.
Mic check. Let me just see. Like I don't know how behind it's going to be.
It sounds good.
Yeah, I think it sounds real good too. Okay. Plug your phone up for a die. Because you know you famous for a dead phone.
I know you ain't talking.
I'm just saying. Famous. Can you see both of us on it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yo. Oh man, we made it through our first explosive load on last night, man. We got here actually, and don't really worry about what here is. If y'all don't know or don't already know, disclosing locations and the type of freight or customers and all that, that's like dead. So just know, I say we're on the East Coast, but we actually got in the area for the delivery, maybe 4 a.m, I guess. But I wasn't in the mood, to be honest with you, to even deal with offloading or just finalizing of a load type of vibe. Coming back out here on the road, you know, we left VA, had a deadhead about 400 miles, give or take, to pick our load up, and brought that where we are right now. So ain't been a whole heck of a lot of running, but we just been out the truck for so long. And then I would say too, a myth is just because you super rested and been out the truck for a long time that your battery on full and you just can go, because that ain't really even true. Mm-mm. It's actually even worse.
It is, because you build up a muscle memory when you out on the road,
right,
and you build up a stamina that you have from doing it. So when you stop doing it, you don't have it anymore. You got to get back started again.
Yeah, so even this load being it, I think it was between the deadhead and the actual running, it might have been 1,200 miles, maybe 13. And we drove from Virginia, got to the pickup location that night, and we slept at that shipper to the morning. So we didn't leave until the following morning, and basically drove throughout yesterday and got to our location on last night. But what I did was I went ahead and went to the safe haven, just because I didn't feel like doing the shipping, or like I said, dealing with no receiver in the middle of the night, going to a new place that I didn't know where I was at. in the dark for real. Just, and I knew I had till 1500 today to drop it. So that's kind of how I
You don't
ran
need it
that.
pushing yourself.
No, I mean, for what?
Right.
So, we did it like that. Um, so we did the safe haven. I slept from about 4-ish, give or take 5 o'clock. It's about 11. And then I went ahead and moseyed it on over. Got that load dropped off. So now we technically are in a hotel, as you can see. Our next load don't pick up until the morning, and that's going down south. I'll say that.
Let
But
me just say this too.
okay.
No, go ahead, because you're
Well,
talking
it
about
technically
that.
don't
Yeah.
deliver until Monday, but it can pick up on tomorrow. But what I guess wanted to touch on in this joint period on the fact of hauling our first explosive load or just hauling explosive loads period is the fact that depending on, well, I ain't gonna say depending on the explosive level. I think explosive loads period over here anyway. I can't speak for nowhere else because I don't really know if it's a universal thing or not. But someone has to stay on duty all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You gotta sit with the truck. If you're fueling and somebody goes into the store, both of you can't go.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We can't shower together any longer.
Mm-hmm.
None of that kind of stuff. The truck has to be under constant watch or surveillance or just constant. Someone has to stay in the driver's seat. So even if as a driver, if I want to stop and just get me a few moments of relaxation without driving, I literally got to stay in the seat. One of us has to stay in the seat, but I'm gonna say the driver, who's ever on duty,
Who's
and
ever
you
on
and you have to
duty?
stay on duty the whole time you have the load. So while I was saying that is, although we pick up the load on tomorrow, which is Saturday, it don't deliver until Monday. The distance that we're traveling, I don't need 2 days to run it. So what we're going to do is pick the load up, get it to a safe haven, drop it, disconnect from it, and probably do another hotel room tomorrow. Go back to the load on Sunday morning, grab it, and then head down south. So you got to kind of do that to protect yourself, protect your clock. Because if we grab that load and take hold of it and get going with it, for the remainder of the weekend, our clock's going to be running on duty all the time. You even have to take your breaks on duty. Right. Like, yo, it's serious. Go ahead.
Well, this is not exactly about what you're talking about, but it's just the current events of what happened.
Uh-huh.
So I just want to say this for anybody that uses hotel.com. Okay. We had we built up our stays and things because we stay in the hotels all the time. So after so many stays, you get a free night. So we were trying to apply our free night on a stay, and some kind of way we went in and accidentally went in as what they consider to be a guest under our email.
Right.
And so they actually charged us and wouldn't apply our free night. So we trying to figure out, if we went in and it's under our email, how in the world will we still get charged for the night instead of being able to just apply the reward, of the amount that we have for the free night. Long story short, you can sign into hotels.com and you have to make sure that you are in your account. You have to make sure that you're in your account, because just going to hotels.com, even though you may put your email in there and it'll pull you up, you might not necessarily be in your account. You may be a guest. So if you do hotels and you do hotels.com, just keep that in mind. Make sure if you get a membership that you are within your membership account before you book a hotel stay. Now, they did say that they can apply a stay,
right,
but they can't apply a reward. Like if you had you build up a certain amount of money for each room you stay in. So let's just say you had $100 built up for a night. If you wanted to apply that $100 to a $100 room, you have to make sure you're in your account under your email. You got to make sure it doesn't say guest.
Right.
Because we went through a whole dilemma with that. I was really frustrated because it's stupid. I feel like it doesn't make sense. If I'm in my email and I apply and I go to hotels.com and I'm in my email, it should automatically allow me to get into my account. But it don't work like that. It's very tricky. So just be careful.
Look me in my eyes. I just want to say, what the hell I got to do with what we talking about?
Because
Because I'm just saying,
I was
we ain't
just
here
wanted
talking about, I know, but we ain't here talking about explosive load running trucks and all that. And you gonna get on here and
hey,
talk
this is
about this
some
little
female.
BS
No, it's not BS.
hotels.com
Every
issue that we
dollar
had today.
matters. We were trying to we was trying to utilize our night that
And
was
we'll use it
free, which we
tomorrow, babe.
still will. But I'm just saying, I do the money, so that's important to me. I was like, let me speak to the supervisor. I don't play around.
Yeah.
I don't play them games. I'm just telling you because I know that people use that, and us women, we handle our finances different.
Back to the explosives.
Whatever. Well, tell them how I found the explosive button on the
I
Qualcomm.
will do
Tell
that.
them
It
that.
won't the Qualcomm. It was the GPS.
Oh,
Thank
with a
you.
GPS.
Thank you. Well, before I even do that, I just want to shout out whoever was up in here. Let me see. 40 Shades, what's happening? Smitty, you already know what it is. Twan King, was good, fam. Ray David says very clear HD and great audio. Appreciate that. We just using a little mic from off the top of the camera, man. I got the little cable you can get, a 3-prong cable or whatever that plug into the iPhone, or that plugs into the iPhone adapter that allow me to use this little mic. So I just figure if I do this and hold it using the back camera on my phone, because my front face camera, I dropped the phone one time and cracked it. So my front face camera is whack. Queen Niche. Hey, y'all, I was just watching Alaska videos. I want to visit myself even more now. Beautiful. Make sure you definitely go do that. That Alaska trip is still with us. Like, no lie. Yeah. Vince K, fireworks, facts, that 1.1, bro. And I don't know exactly what it was. If it was I guess, is that just dynamite, like a basic dynamite? Mm-hmm. But 1.1 explosive, that's it. Don't get more kaboom than that.
Right.
I seen a statement on here. For the Shade said we left California heading to New Jersey, and I'm trying to get it together. Being off for 3 months and relearning to drive is no joke. That is a fact.
I seen you, sis.
Michael D. Israel was happening. Vince K said it's stupid. LOL. I've dealt with that before. Well, there you go.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Who was that, Vince?
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I thought I seen somebody said that all hazmat loads is not like that, or all explosive loads are not like that. Did I miss that? I should be able to get it right. I should be able to at least find it. I know I seen it.
I don't know. See.
Vince K said not all explosive loads require that. Okay, so it probably depends on the type of explosive, but I think pulling the customer freight that we pull and their explosives, I think they have it probably, in their stipulations and per their contracts that they want constant surveillance all the time. So I don't think we even have too much of an option on that. What is video about? Which video are you speaking of? Leonard F. Reed, what's happening? Ray David, question on hazmat loads. Are you restricted to what route you can run? No shortcuts. Facts. You definitely gotta, and I go back to what she just said about we didn't know that it had that option. I hoped it would, but I didn't know. But we were able to find the explosive option on our GPS that will route us around all major cities and routes that we can take explosives through, because you definitely can't take explosives through high populated areas in main cities. Hope y'all are having a wonderful day. Thank you very much, Nikki Carter. We appreciate that. Queen Nash, hell, learning, it ain't no joke. I'm in training now, 2 weeks left. Okay. Yeah. I think our training, we did about a solid week.
We did a solid week, but we're gonna refresh
Ontario,
that.
California to Tucson, Arizona, 460 miles, paid me 65. Oh no.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we're talking.
Yeah.
All I do is hazmat. That's where the money is. Facts. That's what we knew and know. So that's definitely why we were willing to step out here, go and get us a truck, jump into this hazmat type of field like this, and really get it popping. Like that's really our next phase in it. You know what I mean? Our initial thing was 10 years. We're 5 years in it. So I think we're just getting to the point now where doing what we're able to do now is going to put us in a position that we really feel like we need to be in. So we might reevaluate this 5 year and may stretch it out a little longer if the bread stay popping.
And if y'all hear that snoring, y'all know who that is.
Now, I'm gonna show you right quick. I know y'all can see him, right? Can you see him? Chip, man. That's him.
You know what,
Terrible,
Vince K, we done had somebody
Terrible.
tell us, a couple people tell us about Landstar.
Yeah, we're familiar with Landstar also. That was an option.
Mm-hmm.
We chose to go another route, but that definitely was an option. I hear a lot of good things about Landstar, so a lot of those options are out there. That's why we knew getting our own truck would open up, lanes and options that definitely wasn't available to us before.
Right.
So we definitely pretty hyped on that, man. But yeah, so just getting reacclimated to driving again. Like we literally we haven't ran a load since, was it June the 9th?
Well, we bought our load back. Well, we
delivered in Pennsylvania June 9th. That was Memorial Day weekend, if y'all can remember.
Yep.
And that we sat through the weekend that Monday, and then that Tuesday, after getting a few bull job loads, because we did not have our hazmat yet, that hadn't completed yet. We still had to do a DMV portion of it. So we decided to go ahead and take the last, feel like, month off. So, we've been out of the truck for quite a few weeks. Had to pay a truck payment already, but that was pretty much a breeze. So we just been home with the family doing that, but we definitely were ready to go and get back out on the road, man. So,
yeah,
this first load, getting that up under us, felt good. It was a simple load. Wasn't a lot of paperwork involved because a lot of stuff that we will haul will probably have a lot of paperwork involved in it.
Yeah.
So this was a pretty simple, forward explosive load. I think the loads that have multiple types of hazmat on and things of that nature is when you get into your
heavy paperwork.
Stacks of paperwork. Everything has to be filed properly and written down a certain way. So,
probably
it all
spend
works.
more time looking over the paperwork and making sure it's accurate because everybody's checking it. So
yes,
by the time you get it, then you're checking what somebody else has checked. So, just staying on top of that.
Somebody, Queen, they say he tired, boss. Yeah, he is.
Because when he home,
sound like a grown man, bro.
See, Chip is the type of dog that he's always protective. So when we're home, he literally looks out for everybody, and he's always checking the doors and people coming and knocking on the doors. And we have a huge family, so the door is constantly being open. So he's like at the top of the steps, barking all the time and running to the front door. So he really doesn't get much sleep when we're at home. He really
Facts. Yeah, Ray, does this company run cross border? We actually do. Right now, we actually had to get what's called, I'm going to say Vancouver, but I know I'm wrong. And I keep saying Vancouver, Quebec. We had to get a Quebec permit to take explosives across the border because we will be running certain things across the border. We haven't finalized our passport yet, so that won't be an option for us. But the company itself, yes.
But we will soon.
Yeah, we're gonna get it knocked out because we're gonna put ourselves in a position to do everything.
Because we should have did it all the time we was at home, and I had it written down, and I missed that. I missed.
Yeah, well, you miss a lot.
What? Look, don't get us. Look, I got my paper. Don't get started. I can talk about missing stuff.
Hey, players mess up too. But yeah, man, that Alaska trip, y'all, I'm telling you, I can't say black people weren't there because I ain't gonna say I never thought black people were there. But when you think of going on a trip into Alaska, everybody that we told that we were going to Alaska was all like, Alaska, like what you going to Alaska for?
Right.
Probably, I think I put this in a post a couple of days ago. I think that Alaskan trip was the best adult trip or vacation I've ever taken in my life.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Just and we did it for the serenity. We did it for the quiet. We did it for the views and just the overall mental stimulation. We didn't want to do the beaches in Miami and We didn't even take a bunch of changes of clothes. We didn't take, I only think you even took your makeup bag for real, for real.
I didn't take any makeup.
No jewelry.
I didn't do my hair. I just wore the bucket hats.
I didn't even take my clippers. Like the shave I did before we left, it was a shave I had while I was going to be there. Like
everything was comfortable.
Yeah, getting fresh and worrying about my overall appearance, like to that degree, was eliminated. We wasn't going out to no clubs, no partying, no none of that kind of stuff. We just did us. We had a great option that my homie plugged us in with his vehicle, so we was able to get all around through Anchorage, a few other locations, and just kind of just roam and be tourists a little bit, man. And it was amazing. Just the views and the things that's there for you to see and do. It's so much that we couldn't squeeze it into the 4 days that we were there.
Right.
But that doggone 24-hour light.
Yeah, that's different.
It'll kill you if you let it.
I'm telling you, locking power in there. Hey y'all.
Locking power, what's happening? Yeah, that doggone light, it'll put a number on you. Just because, you're so used to the sky or just your surroundings giving you the certain energy to shut your day down. And when you're talking daylight all the time, sunlight pretty much late into the night, it don't really register on what time of day it is. And by the time you do that 2-3 days in a row, I mean, it weigh on you pretty heavy. So we even needed a couple of days when we got back home just to get recalibrated, because that was rough. Like real talk, that was rough. So, but other than that, man, I mean, everything is going great. We sat home, did our DMV portion of our hazmat, got that done. We actually waited until we got our physical cards in the mail. We didn't want to come out with just the paper copies. So we sat around, we did that. We did a few other things at home in preparation to come out on the road. But as much as you think you're going to be prepared to run and get out here on the road, it still don't seem to happen like that. Like we literally was still last day that we left, we still loading stuff in the truck, making trips from the house to the truck. Like all that stuff we was just doing last minute. Right. I think we just was ready to get back out on the road.
Yeah, we kind of,
but just dragging your feet on getting back out on the road.
But we did do better. We have gotten better as far as like now we have stuff that we just leave in the truck and we don't have to worry about taking stuff out. It took us a minute to get to that. So like we have clothes and things that it's just for the truck. So
facts.
I don't have to worry about when I get home now grabbing a bag or getting stuff to go home. We're straight now, so we don't have to do that. So that was easy. That was easy. I think just loading up all of the merch that we have so that we can have it on the road with us.
Oh yeah, merch on deck. You know what I mean? So hopefully y'all got a chance to at least see some of that. You know what I mean? I ain't saying you got a cop if you ain't digging it, but hope you at least got a chance to see some of the stuff we got going on. And if you choose to support, cop up, shop up, or cash apping and all that. We taking all that, you know what I mean?
Vince said that he's been following us since Swift days.
I just seen that. That's what's up, bro. And for real, dog, like a lot of people, I guess, can talk whatever they want to talk about Swift. Swift ran us a lot in the beginning. We traveled to a lot of different places. We were put into a lot of different scenarios with Swift. And looking back on it now, the lessons and things that we learned by being pushed to the limits like that, whether it's, just in time, FedEx load, stuff that we couldn't stop on, like we were almost conditioned to run. And running is a little different than just driving a truck and make your deliveries. When I'm saying running, I mean from load to load to load, like, and it was kind of that way when we pulled some prime stuff too. It might have been a slight difference. But as far as being able to get 2 and 3 loads on you back to back, from the minute you drop a load, you already know the next load is, and you beeline into it. And then two loads back to back that you can't stop on. That's a constant. You run your clock, I run my clock. You run your clock, I run my clock. Like we would run those type of loads so steady because by us running team, that's kind of where your bread and butter gonna come from. If you're gonna drive around and waste days or a whole 10-hour, break, you taking off, relaxing, you might as well be on a solo tip. You know what I mean? But
did the brakes.
Nah, not really. So
34s. We never took 34s.
so hauling for a company like Swift, man, really taught us how to run. Like I said, it really put us into a lot of situations that probably were slightly unfair, maybe for some young drivers and new drivers on the road. But again, it forces you to learn the game. It forces you to learn how to run your truck, how to drive your truck, raised terrains and all of that. They didn't baby you. We was California, all the mountains that you can think of, all the Northwest, all of that. So all of our trucking since then, all of it has been a lot more relaxed experience, which I guess that's how it should go.
The
You,
more
you
years you
should
put
get
in,
you
yeah.
should get pushed and you know
That's
lay
driving
it
for
all
more
on the
money.
line in the beginning, and as your experience reaches greater levels, it can kind of taper itself off, and because now I I don't even route plan no more, and I honestly I don't know if I should even say stuff like that out loud because I guess it's not even a popular statement or something that you get taught, especially for young drivers. So I don't want nobody to get that relaxed that you don't feel like you
Right.
have the route plan. I mean, I check weather. I definitely would do that. But as far as the different places that we go in the different states,
Kind of know.
yeah, at this point, at the 5 year mark, I kind of know state to state where
The
I'm going to be going. I,
highways.
I
Right.
almost already have a favorite restaurant in some areas, in certain states. I already know what hotel we're going to stay at if we choose to. Like, I kind of got it already up here just from the repetition of it.
Repetition.
But not that you don't have to do it, because
Right. Still do
I
it.
would never tell
Yeah.
somebody to
Not do it.
not
Right.
route plan. But for the most part, at the 5 year mark, I can see whatever my load is, whatever city it is, know where I'm coming from. I know the route I'm going to take to get there and some of the things I'm going to see while en route there. So
Uh,
that's kind of how we
like a
do that.
pilot said, they've been off for 7 months and ready to get back to it.
You've been off 7 months.
And Twan King
What
said,
you
"What
getting back in
we?"
the truck for, bro? 7 months.
I don't know if that's wifey or husband. I don't know which is which, but Twan King said, "Would y'all live in Alaska?"
Would I live in Alaska? I guess the naive tourist part of me says yes. I haven't been there for a winter. I know depending on where you are in Alaska, those can be pretty brutal. I don't know if I want to be one of those off the grid Alaskan dwellers that you see like on television, but their major city of Anchorage is pretty nice. It's clean there. You can tell that they really try to take care of the infrastructure of the city.
Yeah, keep
You know,
everything
so they
natural.
have a lot of stuff going on there. But like I said, I don't know if the winters will be tolerable, and it all depends on what I'd be doing. Now, if I had to be someone that had to get up and go to work every day and dealing with this below temperature for months on end, or because just like the sun in the summer, they get the darkness in the winter.
Mm-hmm.
So if I had to get out here and raise children and do all the things that everybody has to do to upkeep life, it may not be as attractive to me. But
Right.
with it just being she and I having to be responsible for ourselves as adults, and we kind of in a position where we could eat how we want to eat and live how we want to live and enjoy day after day. I ain't saying I wouldn't have no constructive responsibilities, but all the daunting tasks that everybody has to deal with on a day-to-day basis to live life, I don't know if I would want to do it there. But if as an older couple, older gentleman and woman, I ain't even say retire there, but I could be there in my elder years and take full advantage of nature for
See,
sure.
I envision like I wanted to get in real estate early part of this year, but I want
Right.
to get into real estate and have an Airbnb. So I would like to have an Airbnb in a location like that. So um
I'm gonna cut you off. Go Phoenix. What up, boy?
to
Ten
have
and a half reasons.
they
Cuz
say
I'm sorry. I'm just shouting out people.
no,
I'm just saying.
I already seen them on
Well,
there.
why you speak then?
Because I was gonna speak after I answered the question. You see how he do? He bogart everything. He sat there and said his whole everything, and I was just quiet.
Yeah, so when I finished
talking, I start talking, he want to jump in.
When I finish talking, you supposed to shout out our folks. This a real live feed. You supposed to shout out our folks, though, dog.
God.
What up?
This is what years emerged, how they act. Y'all ladies know. Anywho, I would not live in Alaska, but I would definitely like to have properties in places like that, or I would like to have a property out there so I can go at my convenience.
Facts.
All right, now go ahead. Hey, rude.
That's all your answer is. You would want to live there.
I mean, because it's a beautiful place. It's beautiful, but no, I wouldn't want to live there because first of all, I'm not driving in the snow, and you ain't gonna go places when I want you to. So that means I'm gonna be in lack, and I ain't trying to go nowhere. I gotta be in lack.
Oh, what I ain't gonna go get? Someone like go get a loaf of bread.
It don't matter if it's too much snow on the ground and I don't feel like driving. I know you're gonna be like, you don't need it.
I'm hopping in my 4-wheel machine and I'm going to tear the street up.
No, he ain't.
No, he ain't. Snowmobiles and all that, bro.
No, he ain't. When he feels like it.
Where the house gonna be full with all the stuff you gonna need. Where I gotta go?
Not always.
What you need? Some corn?
It don't matter. I could want some favorite ice cream.
What you need? Some can? You need a can of corn?
No, but I'm gonna need
string beans.
When I
want
something, I want to get it, and I know
it's already be in the house. It's already be in the crib.
I'm not gonna drive in the snow.
It's already be in the crib.
And I know if we lived out there, you would want to be in the mountains.
I am. I'll be back in a couple of days.
Nope.
Put my GPS tracker in the phone. I'll be back.
Nah.
No, but it's beautiful out there, man.
Though.
The fishing, I didn't get a chance to do it, but I really want to do that. I want to go out on one of those boats that take you out.
I want to see the glaciers.
Yes.
We didn't get to do that.
No.
And how about I was looking for moose, and then our friend in Alaska tells us that all these moose came out, and then we saw a video where it was a bear that came out and a moose, and we ain't see none the whole time.
Facts. We ain't see nothing.
And yes, Ray, we know that it's dangerous, but I mean, we got legs. We would have just ran or something.
Sean Hunter said the cost of living is extremely high.
It is.
Yes, it is.
It is.
It is that. But we had a great time. But for real, for all my people who drive over the road and you stay out west at all, or drive out west, it puts me in the mind of Oregon and Washington. That's what it looks like.
I think more Washington for me.
You think so?
Because it was rainy. Like it was some days when
Oregon,
rainy.
You can get that too. But I say all that up there in the Dalles in Oregon, but definitely, that whole Washington, that's what it looks like.
Yeah, Oregon had more color. Washington seemed more like greenery and mountains and,
I just say both of them because I see a lot of that in both. Like on that day, that was a really nice sunny day in Alaska. It was beautiful that day. Skies was nice, all of that. The color was rich. We've seen a lot of nice scenery. So to me, that's what it put me in the mind of. But slightly different. A lot of the mountains that you see, they looked a little bigger. I ain't say the air smelled any cleaner or nothing like that. I don't want to get all overly technical with it. But overall, it was nice. But I definitely could visit there. I wouldn't mind going to Alaska every summer for at least a week. At least a week. Because I like to fish and just some of those waters out there, especially on the salmon tip and some of that. I would love to do that on a consistent basis. I've never been one to hunt. I've never done the deer hunting and stuff like that. But I definitely think I could adopt it by going over there like that. I wouldn't want to be hunting bear and all that. I ain't really with that. But if you ain't going to eat it, I don't see hunting for it for real. Right. But I think places like, but a place like that, I think a lot of their wildlife is so plentiful, even though we ain't seen none, but it's so plentiful and so rich in wildlife there that I'm sure they almost look forward to some of the hunting and population control when it comes to a lot of the animals that roam free out there.
Tier